Hello and welcome to my channel Malavika's Magic. Today I'll be sharing with you my views on selecting a research topic, and this will be the first part of my video. And the subsequent videos I'll be talking about how to write a research paper. So let us begin with selecting a research topic. So here I'll be taking you to the roadmap of my presentation. And in the roadmap, I'll be dealing with 4 steps that is necessary in order to select a research topic. The first step is brainstorming ideas, that is selecting a broad topic. The second is narrowing the topic, that is developing an interest. The third is collecting background information, that is, finding out whether the research topic is manageable and measurable. And the fourth is availability of resources, that is, the practicality of the topic. Now, let me go through all the steps in greater detail. So, the first step that is necessary is to brainstorm ideas in order to select a broad topic. So, these are the following steps that is necessary in order to brainstorm ideas. First, we need to find out our area of interest. Second, we need to write all the ideas related to the areas that we are interested in, or draw a map of our ideas. The third is we need to find out what message we want to convey to the reader. The fourth is set an end goal. So let us first start with an example over here. So I am interested in this particular topic, that is global warming. I need to find out now what ideas I can write about global warming. So I can think of global warming from the perspective of the economic factor, the geographical factor, the political factor, the human factor, and the environmental factor. Now, I have another topic that is also of interest to me, that is communication. Now, in communication, I can think of mass media, the magazine, the video games, the newspaper, and the internet. So, I have selected my area of interest as well as I've written down the ideas. Now, this is very broad. So, I need to go to the second step, that is narrowing the topic or developing an interest in the readers. So in order to narrow the topic, we need to follow certain steps. First of all, we can narrow down the topic on the basis of the demographic characteristics, that is, the characteristics that help us to identify the differences in population of the country, which could be based on gender, age, income, the occupation, and so on. The second is identifying the relevant issues, that is, to what extent it will be useful for the group that I have selected, useful to the readers. And third, the causes that has led to this a particular scenario, the causes that has led to this particular problem that is existing in the society. And the fourth is the time frame. So the time frame is by which time I can finish that particular research, or what is the end goal of my research, how much time do I require to complete the research. And then, of course, the location is also very important, because the location will determine to what kind of population or what kind of population size I want to select. Now, let me give you an example of the demographic characteristics, the 2 topics that I've already selected, that is based on global warming. The first topic is global warming. Now, when I'm considering my interest, my area of interest as global warming, and I need to find out which particular area will be of interest to me. So I need to find out, the group that I am targeting, which group of people am I targeting. So if I'm targeting, the people living in the city, so I might be more concerned about the environmental factor. If I'm targeting the farmers, then I'll be more concerned about the economic factor. So on the basis of that, I will select the group of people. Then the population size. Once the group is selected, I need to find out what should be the size of the population, or what is the population size for the particular group or that I've selected. So accordingly, I can then decide on my sample. The third is the density of the population. And then the fourth is the age structure. So which age structure of people I am targeting? And then I need to find out the education level, the family status, and the income and occupation of the particular group that I have selected. So this will help me to narrow down my topic, and it will also help me to select a topic from the list of the topics or the list of the points that I've already made a note of in my first step. Now, let us go to the second topic. In the second topic also, which was on communication, here also I need to find out which group of people I am targeting. Whether I'm targeting people, from the, from the who are working, okay, who are working in industries or who are working in multinational companies, or whether I'm targeting students who are studying in the metropolitan cities, or whether I'm targeting students who are based in the remote areas of the country. So all these aspects will help me to determine the area of interest, or the pick up one topic from the list of ideas that I have. And then I will go to the age structure, then the education level, and of course I'll go to the population size. So having understood the demographic characteristics, we can now, based on this demographic characteristics, now we can move on to the relevant issues, that we need to find out relevant issues. That is, to what extent the research will help the people concerned, the readers concerned, how it will be useful, how they will be able to benefit out of this research. That is very important to identify. And then now let us move on to the third step, and that is collecting background information. Background information will help us to find out whether the research topic that we have selected is manageable and measurable. So, when we collect the background information, we need to find out information like the basic facts about the particular topic that we have selected, then the current issues related to the particular topic, the relevant statistics available in the particular topic, then the global impact of the problem, and of course, the future aspects. So, the future aspects and the global impact of the problem will help us to determine whether the problem that we have identified is universally acceptable, or whether it has a universal impact, and whether it is the impact is felt worldwide. And future aspects will help us to determine whether there is any scope for further research in this particular area. So having done this, background information will help us to, collect evidence. We find out whether we can measure that particular topic. We can provide evidence to the readers so that they can be convinced of our idea, and they can utilize that idea for their future prospects. Now, let us move on to the fourth step, that is availability of resources. Now, this is very important because we need to find out practically to what extent it is possible to go ahead with the research that for the topic that we have identified. So this availability of resources will depend on whether we have access to the essential resources and tools. Now, in order to find out whether we have access to the essential resources and tools, we need to ask ourselves certain questions. So what kind of resources are we looking for? What kind of tools are we looking for? Whether resources in terms of the various researches that has taken place in terms of the journal articles, or are we talking about tools in terms of the statistical tools, or whether it is a paid version of the tools, or it is a free version that is available. So what kind of resources we are looking for? Because if it is a paid version and we are not positioned to pay for that particular tool that we want for our research, so we might have to write our proposal to agency who can fund for a research, and accordingly we can proceed with the work. So that becomes very important. Second is, when do we want it? Do we want it at the beginning of the research, or do we want it somewhere towards the middle of the research, or when do we want it? That is also very important. And under what conditions do we want it? So these are the various questions that we need to ask ourselves before we can actually determine whether the topic that we have selected is measurable and the resources are available, and so it is practically possible to implement the topic, or practically possible to go ahead with the research. So, having said this, I would like to thank all of you for your patient listening. I hope you had a proper understanding of how of selecting a research topic. In case you have any questions, you can definitely share your comments in the comment section. Thank you.